so that whatever you already know, this would be a revision. In case you are not very clear about what is PPDT, or you want some kind of a revision, or you're totally new, this will help you, right? The rules of PPDT. Remain seated. Some people, some candidates, out of exuberance, sit in such a position where it appears that that person is ready to run. So what you need to do is remain seated comfortably, but yes, not as if you are sitting in an easy chair on a beach. Sit in a proper upright position, chest up, back straight. Because the moment you slouch, the moment you sit as if you're about to move, it shows that you are nervous, you are not confident. So when you sit on the chair comfortably with the back straight, you're not supposed to lean back and sit as if you are in a sofa. No, that's why you're given such chairs where your upright posture is important. So always remember, sit upright and look straight, right? Don't look at assessors, because this is something we always do. We want the assessor to see us. We want the assessor to note what we are doing. We want to impress the assessors. That is not permitted in PPDT. You are not supposed to look at the assessor. You are supposed to look at your own fellow syndicate members. The syndicate which is going to be there, about 14, 15 people may be there, and you are supposed to look at them only. Don't look at assessors, because the moment you look at assessors, again it will convey a negative thing about you, that you are a person who work in a particular manner when somebody supervises you or somebody is watching you, and you may be a different person when you are not being watched. So never look at assessors, just look at your syndicate. Individual narration. You will be given 1 minute to narrate your story. Of course, how the story is formed, all that will come later. First, let's know the rules. So individual narration will be for 60 seconds. 1 minute is the time given to you. Always remember, you should not finish before 50 seconds. And you should not exceed 60 seconds. So this comfortable bracket is between 50 and 60 seconds. You have to practice this. Only then you will be able to maintain this time limit. If you talk less, there is an issue. If you talk more, again you will get cut. So keep that within this 50 to 60 seconds bracket. You have to use English language. Yes, for those who know Hindi, they allow you to use Hindi a little bit in between. But since most of you do not know Hindi, please stick to English. And for doing that, you have to be fluent in English. When I say fluent in English, in case you are not fluent, don't get scared. Fluency in English is not a big deal. If you put a little bit of concentrated effort, you can be good in English within a month. So again, today I'll be posting the tips and tricks for learning English fast, as well as updating your current affairs knowledge. Just follow it blindly. Whatever I say, you need to follow blindly. Don't apply your mind. You will get through in this, right? English to be used. Yes, this is something every candidate tries at some point or the other in PPDT. You think my story is the best story, and if my story is accepted as a common story, as a syndicate story, that means I will clear this stage 1. It is not so. Whether your story is accepted or not, you should not worry. You are supposed to get at a common consensus. That means more importance is there for your discussion with others. The way you observe others, what they speak, the way you grasp others' points, and how you convince your story to those people so that they accept it. So these efforts are being noted and not the end result. In case your story is not selected, don't worry, nothing is going to happen. So, whose story is going to be selected should not be a reason for your stress there. So, nominate a narrator for common story in which your the syndicate is expected to narrate the common story. I mean, the nominate the person who is going to narrate the common story. Either you can volunteer yourself, but don't force yourself. If you want to narrate, it's okay. You say, gentlemen, I'm ready to narrate, but they should all agree and nominate you. Without that, you can't narrate. And in case you find somebody is good, you can always have a big heart and nominate that person, or support if somebody else is also nominating that person. So that, keep it in mind. Just give me a moment. Now we go to the methodology of conduct. A black and white picture will be showed in which some kind of a background, some kind of a environment, some people or animals or vehicles, anything may be shown. Here what we see is a clear picture. However, you cannot always expect a clear picture. You may get a blurred picture also. So be prepared to see the picture, and it will be shown for 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you have to observe the picture. Find out the setting. Which place is this thing happening? Who are the characters? What is the general mood of these people? What all is being displayed there? What is the story likely about? So after watching, you have to mentally, get ready with all these things. Number of people, all those things I'll tell you. Okay, but general basic thing. Here if you see the picture, there are how many people are there? 6 people are there. And they are all looking at one direction. There is a notice board. There are some papers pasted on the notice board. They're looking at it. And if you see the dresses, they're all generally well dressed, formally dressed. The place which you see, and besides the notice board, you can see these arches and the columns, pillars. So that generally gives an idea that this could be a college, because these people are also of the same college going age group, and something has been posted on the notice board. So this is the general thing you can make out within 4-5 seconds. So then you have to think about the plot, and then how to write the story. All this comes. So 30 seconds is meant for observing the story, looking at all the characters, resources, setting everything, and also to form a rough story, because after 30 seconds this picture will go off and you will not get to see it again. In case you have not seen it properly, your story will be incomplete. So remember this. So let's see what are the types of images which may be shown there. There are a number of types, but we put them into some major groups. These are the types of images, and sometimes images may come even beyond all these descriptions. An image with a single person. An image with multiple persons in action, like the one which you saw just now. A problem like accident or fire or anything, any kind of a problem, something that is not right, something that is grave, it may be shown there. Conflicts or crime, people fighting, some crime scene, murder, something is happening, rioting is there, something is happening, which is a negative thing, some kind of a conflict and a crime or a crime. Then a neutral thing where some discussion or a meeting is happening between people. That's also possible. And there's no limit to the kind of images, type of images that can come. Anything can come. So you be prepared for any kind of image that comes. Now, this is the most important thing, because if you start observing the picture in a rough manner without knowing what to observe, how to observe, you will generally get the idea, but you may miss out some small fine print, like things that may be shown there, or some activity, or some mood, something you may miss. So you have to observe anything that you see in a very systematic way. Okay, now first is number of people and possible relationship. In the picture which you saw, 6 people were there, and the possible relationship between them is that they're all students of that college, generally, right? So this is one assumption that you can make. You can make any assumption that you want, but it should be matching with the scenario that has been painted in the slide. So first thing is, note this down. This is something which you have to do systematically. Once you get into this system, you will be able to analyze any picture in a very short time, so that you are able to grasp the whole thing within those 30 seconds. Next is the visible expression or the body language. Are they looking angry? Are they looking happy? Is one angry, the other one sad, the other one is angry or happy, whatever. It may be a mix of expressions. So all these need to be noted, because that will form the part of your story. The story will spin out of all these things. Details of background. This is something very, very important, because you can spin a story looking at the characters, but if it does not suit that background, it does not suit that locality, that location, the type of place that it is, you may go wrong. So details of background needs to be observed properly. And how to observe the details of background? Now what you do is, background doesn't mean just background. You have to see the whole setting, the place. So for this, you can divide that picture into 3 parts. One is foreground, which is just quite nearby as you look at it. Middle ground is something which is in the middle, and far ground is something which is far away, like mountains, skies, birds, sun, trees, which are at the distance and all that. They're all background. So even the background has to be divided into 3: foreground, middle ground, and the real background. You have to observe what is there nearby, what is there in the middle ground, and what is there in the far off distance, because anything that you see there could be of use to you when you try to build a story. If a person is standing in the foreground and a cycle is lying in the middle ground, what is the implication? If the person and the cycle is lying in the foreground, it is easy for the person to pick up the cycle and do something. So you can put it in the story. If in the foreground a person is standing, in between there is a river, and then in the far ground there is a cycle lying, what can you do? You can't do anything. So the placement of any kind of an object or a person in the picture is very important. You have to note it, so that the traveling between the foreground to middle ground to far ground and vice versa should come automatically into your mind. You have to see the practicality of doing something. When you build a story, this detail has to be kept in mind. Then objects that stand out. There may be one object, maybe more than one object, that are part of the picture and they stand out. That means you cannot miss it. So that needs to be noted, because anything that is given in the picture is called a stimulus. You cannot miss any stimulus. You have to note everything. For that, you have to have a very sharp observation ability to see what is there exactly in which place. Yes, finally, don't avoid stimulus. That means whatever is given in the picture, you have to bring it into the story. You cannot miss something and write a story without that particular aspect. It could be a cycle, it could be a person, it could be an activity, something may be there, but you can't miss it. You have to build your story using all these stimuli. And anything that is not shown, a little bit of assumption is okay, but don't bring in something which is not at all there. Say in this picture which we saw, there are people looking at the notice board, right? So in this story which you will make out of it, you will actually talk about that place where the notice board is put and those people are standing. The story will start from there. However, if you start writing, okay, Ramu was in the railway station and he wanted to go to one place to another, it is totally different. It is not required. So it is a unconnected thing. In case you bring in some character, so these people are looking at it, you say there was a policeman who came and asked these people what is happening. The policeman is not in the picture. Why should you bring it from outside? Don't do that. So your story has to revolve around the picture and the characters and the settings in the picture generally. Few things, small minor things you can always assume, but not a major thing, major character or a major incident or a major thing that is not there should not be brought into the picture. Remember this always. Then preconceived story. A lot of repeaters do this mistake. They prepare one story and a perfect story. They do a lot of research, they create a story, they keep everything ready, all aspects are taken care of, and they remember it well. What they do is they write this preconceived story by slightly modifying it to the picture. Don't do this. You will get caught very easily. So no preconceived story. So now how to start doing it? First is to fill the number of characters, that is 2 male or 3 female. Then their age, what is the approximate age based on how they look. Then mood, what is their mood? Positive mood, neutral mood or negative mood. And of course the gender. This should have been mood at the last. I'll change it. Number of characters, age, gender and mood. Okay. If it is a male character, you write male. In case there are 2, you write 2M. Female, yes, female, right? Sorry, not 2M. Basically, you have to write it twice. I'll show you the last thing. I'm not sure if it is there in this presentation. Sarang, keep that ready. The portion of that form in which we are going to fill all these details, I'll show you that, because since this issue happened yesterday, I lost some slides in which all these things are there. Let's see. If it comes, it's fine. If not, Sarang will show you how to write it. So male, female, M or F. Age in numbers, you put the number 20, 25, 50, like that. For indicating the mood, you use the positive sign for positive mode, 0 for neutral sign and minus sign for negative mode. Now next is hero-heroine selection. First you have identified the number of people who are there. You have already seen what is their mood, their age, everything is done. You have marked it. Of course, to mark it in the sheet that is given to you, you should make a mental noting of this thing. Whatever you see in the picture, you should note this thing in mentally, that these are the number of characters, this could be the age, and this is the mood that they are in. Now next comes the hero-heroine selection. How to select a hero or a heroine of a story. As I told you before, preferably the same gender as the candidate. That is, if you are a male, you preferably select a male. There are situations where you will not have anyone there. as per your gender, you will not find anybody. So then you have to have whoever is the best next choice that you need to take. So that is fine. Same age as the candidate. Again, the same thing. You may find somebody who is of your age or roughly plus or minus a few years. That is fine. If you don't find, then the best other option has to be taken. Number two option has to be chosen by you. Yes, this is something very, very important. If a character in the picture has been displayed in a negative way, or that character is doing something which is, showing that that personality is weak, do not select that character as the hero or the heroine of the story. Because if you select a negative looking person, or a person who looks weak, you will not be able to effectively build a story that this hero, of course, hero has to do something heroic, right? So when you make a story, you will make something that this person has done something great, something very daring, all that. If you already selected a person who is looking weak, who is a criminal in this picture, how can you build a story out of that person? So do not select a negative or a weak character as hero or heroine. Next is write your theme. Theme is a very simple sentence with 4 or 5 words. Very simple. So how should your theme be? It should not either be very small, very short, or very long. My holiday. It's a very small theme. The time when I went to the exhibition, I found something happening and how I saved a life. This is too long. The story itself has come into the heading. So write your theme in a crisp manner. Saving a student from the floods. Something like that. Okay, this is neither too long nor too short. Next is, you have to set high goals for the hero heroine. As I told you, in continuation with the previous to previous slide, where I said, do not select a weak personality. Do not select a negative personality to become your hero or a heroine. Now, if you select a strong personality out of that picture, or a person who is doing something great, good, or commendable, then it becomes easy for you to set high goals. Say a person is injured in an accident and lying down in a pool of blood. Can you have that person as the hero? Can that person do anything at all? No. So that's the reason you have to select the best possible choice available in the picture, which is matching all the criteria as your hero or heroine. Now, next thing is the setting goals for hero heroine, because in that story something has to be achieved by that person. That is the goal. And if you set a small goal, a very normal goal, going to the cinema is a goal. But in that very, very simple goal, can you show any leadership quality of the hero? You cannot show. So you have to set goals that are high. Winning the gold medal in college tournament. Here, gold medal is something which not everybody gets. You put in a lot of effort. You have to put in a lot of, you give a lot of time to prepare for that, and you have to play. So getting a gold medal is a higher goal, you can say. Same way, you can think of goals that you can set for your hero or heroine, and that goal should be achieved by the hero or heroine in the story. This is how you have to spin the story. reflect leadership traits. As I told you, the hero is supposed to do something heroic, and the leadership traits should be visible, because that's what we are looking at. Whatever leadership trait which show in that hero of yours, we take it as the leadership trait that is in you. The hero is actually a reflection of you. So any good quality which you show in that hero is actually taken as your own good trait. Any good thing or commendable thing that hero or heroine does is actually attributed to your personality. So your mirror image is that hero. So reflect leadership traits in that. Don't do simple, what to say, just to create a story, make some few lines and make a story which is so simple and it doesn't show any leadership traits. Avoid superhuman capabilities. That means your hero cannot be doing something like a Superman or a magician or, for that matter, God. The hero is a normal human being, and you have to show the hero as doing something very normal and possible for a human person to do, a normal person to do. Abnormal things cannot be done. Don't show that. Okay? The solution, the story, everything should be practical and reasonable. Achievable target should be there. Reasonable things should be done by the people, the protagonist, basically your hero as well as the other people. It should be practical. It should not be an imaginary story, fairy tale, what we call. Okay, now write a story in 4 minutes. After 30 seconds, you have to write a story in 44 minutes. This what is the timeline. Okay, now I will stop here and I will take questions, because this class will go for another 1 or 2 sessions, because this one is something which is very basic and you need to understand threadbare. Okay, so anyone with any question? No questions? Yes, Vikas. Yeah, Vikas, unmute yourself and talk.
Sir, the question is about you have said that the hero should not imitate any super uh, quality of human being.
I didn't say super quality of human being. I said superhuman behavior. What is a superhuman? Superhuman is something like, I tell you, that's a common example I always give. There used to be a Rajnikant movie, okay, in which he acts like a robo, a humanoid, human plus robo mixed together. Okay, so in one of the scenes, what happens is he is encircled by a lot of rowdies, gundas, enemies, whoever you can call them as. Okay, they surround him and they try to attack him. So what he does is he just swings his arm, and in that swing 100 guns appear, 100 barrels rather, and 100 barrels shoot at the same time, and all these guys get killed or whatever happens. This is what I call a superhuman. That means impossible to be done by a human. You understood?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
now, yeah.
another request. You have. Can you repeat once again the point which you have told that next to this superhuman qualities?
What is that point? You must have noted it down, right?
Sir,
I'm speaking slow and deliberate. Huh?
I am in my workplace, sir. So can you just repeat once again?
Okay,
I
so what is
didn't,
that? Anyone, what is that point he's talking about? What was there next to that? Yeah, Sarang?
Practicality and reasonability, sir.
Practicality and reasonability. Okay. Is that the one you want me to talk about, Vikas? Practicality and reasonability.
sir, yes, sir.
Okay, practicality is again the same thing. Is it practically possible to create 100 guns out of nowhere and shoot people? Possible? Okay. Now, the same hero as a human being, not a humanoid, is hero or any hero for that matter, is in the movies. Okay. Now, in the movies, what he does is he just gives one punch on the chest of somebody, his enemy, whoever is there, and this enemy flies 100 feet and falls down. Is it practically possible? If you hit, will anybody go and fall away, fall far away? Is it practical?
No, sir.
Yeah, 1 second, just hold on.